Today, we are introducing the skeletal system. Our study will begin with an overview of its function. We will then classify bones by their structure and conclude with describing the structure of a typical long bone. The skeletal system consists of bones, cartilage, ligaments, and other tissues that perform vital functions for the human body. The skeletal system comprises the framework of the body. In an adult skeleton, there are 206 individual bones. Bones are the primary organ of the skeletal system, and bones are living organs. They can remodel themselves and help the body respond to a changing environment. The skeletal system has 6 primary functions. The first function we'll look at is protection. Protection by the skeletal system is shown by how the skeletal system protects our vital organs. For example, the skull protects the brain, the breastbone or sternum and ribs protect the heart and lungs. The bones also are a site for the storage of fat. Yellow bone marrow is what stores fat, and this fat can be used for energy for the body. Hemopoiesis. Hemopoiesis describes the process of blood cell formation. It is a vital process that occurs in red bone marrow. Mineral storage. Bones also play an important part in maintaining homeostasis of blood calcium. Calcium is important because it's needed for nerve and muscle function. Movement. As muscles contract and shorten, they pull on bones and move them. And bones provide support. They form the body's supporting framework. And soft tissues, such as muscles, are anchored firmly to bones. Bones can be classified according to their general shape. There are 5 types of bone. You have flat bones, which protect internal organs. Examples include the bones of the skull, such as the occipital bone, the parietal bone, the frontal bone, and nasal bone, and also bones of the thoracic cage, such as the sternum and ribs. Irregular bones also protect the internal organs. An example of irregular bones would be the vertebrae of the vertebral column, which protect the spinal cord. Long bones support weight and facilitate movement. Examples include the femur, which is the longest bone in the body, the tibia, your shin bone, the fibula, the radius, and ulna. Sesamoid bones are embedded in tendons. They are found in tendons of the hands, knees, and feet. They protect tendons from wear and tear. And an example is the patella, which is your kneecap. And then we have short bones. Short bones provide stability. They are located in the wrist and ankle joints. Examples include the tarsals in the ankles and the carpals in the wrist. Now we are going to look at structures of a typical long bone. You have the diaphysis, or the shaft. This is a hollow tube made of compact bone. And this compact bone is what makes bones strong and hard. You have the epiphysis, which are the end of bone, made of spongy bone and filled with red bone marrow. A bone marrow is a connective tissue that fills the interior of most bones. And there are 2 types of bone marrow. You have red bone marrow and yellow bone marrow. The medullary cavity is the hollow area inside the diaphysis that contains soft yellow bone marrow, which is made mostly of fat cells. The endosteum is a fibrous membrane that lines the medullary cavity. The periosteum is a strong fibrous membrane that covers long bone everywhere except at its joints. And you have articular cartilage, which is a thin layer of cartilage covering each epiphysis. Articular cartilage acts as a cushion between joint surfaces. And that does conclude part 1 of the skeletal system.